coming into this one, will they go for BC? Will they go for BA? Obviously, B, I don't know if it's going to be the heavily contested one, but I wonder what they're going to do with the A flag and the C flag here.
We're going to have to wait and see what they start with, whether those engineers are in play, whether they're not. We are still waiting on, I believe, the final restart before we get this one underway. The players are in place. Should we go through the lineups a little bit right here?
I think we should.
All right.
We haven't even mentioned it, actually, for the most part of this past 2 hours almost. But let's go with Gamers Connection first. Let's give them the light in the beginning.
So, Frod, Rella, Hexus, Zaya, and Jika will be your French side there, looking pretty good going into this end.
Jaya. I say Gia.
I say Jika.
No, for...
Oh, Zaya?
Yeah.
Zaya.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
That's how I say
I'm American. We say things differently.
Yeah, you don't really understand language. but how about Exertus? Take us through.
Well, we got Wyroz, Malcolm, Zam, Core, and Kreiser here, and they have a lot of really good players on the side of Exertus. And I think one thing they might have been lacking in the past was their synergy. Maybe a strat caller to really step up, to be that voice within the team to say, guys, we need to focus, we need to do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, all these players are very, very skilled individually. But it comes down to, in a team game, you can be better 1v1 than someone, but if you can't be better as a team working together as a cohesive unit, then you're worse than the worst teams, kind of thing.
Yeah. So still waiting on the last couple of readies to come in from these guys, just making sure everything is set up, everything is on point, and.
All right. Well, we're just gonna let them know we're good to go here.
Yeah.
We have been for a while now, while they were getting ready.
Yeah, well, we have to let the admins know.
Okay, so XTS is ready, guys. Exertus is ready.
Seconds
One
away,
more person.
ladies and gents.
Gamers Connection. Are you ready?
So
you know what we don't have in the casting world? You know the whole...
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know his name. But he's like famous for like boxing matches.
I think we can get Paul to do that, right?
That would be great.
Hey, Paul, we really like your hosting. Do you want to just do some voiceover? I think that's how it works, right? I don't know. But still.
Oh my gosh, they're ready. Ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I don't want to get it hyped up just yet because I don't know if the restart's coming in now. Maybe they get restarted or something.
They will.
They will. They definitely will. We have the restart. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting away here with our first game. It's going to be Exertus up against Gamers Connection on Parasol Storm. I don't know the sides just yet as we do drop in just a few seconds. But this is going to be a doozy. Obviously, we're waiting a little bit of time to get this game underway. Exertus definitely been preparing, definitely been warming up here. Gamers Connection, maybe not as much time necessarily, but doesn't matter. Right now, they had to perform if they want to win.
They certainly do, and this is what I wanted to see. We have the engineer classes ready and waiting to go. That was my big point in this, and I thought we'd see it maybe on one side more than the other. Let's just see what Kreiser is up to right here. So they are spawning in Kreiser, running engineer, Jika doing the same. This is the gun I want to point out, not that one. The CC3A1. That's the gun that frustrated Fnatic to their absolute maximum. And then Kreiser going with the ACWR, a little bit better on the long range, running with the angle grip muzzle brake. So that's the difference there. And I guess Red is probably CC3A1 as well. This is what I wanted. Gamers Connection will be on the Chinese side. Exertus on the US side. We need to change that little top bit around and get it on the right side because we are live into this one. Jason, take us away.
All right, as we can see, we're going to have a little bit of a push coming out of Gamers Connection on B and the A flag here, but we're actually seeing, interestingly enough, Exertus, they're contesting the A flag. They want to have it here, and it's right now a little bit of a 2v1. You can see Gia over at that B flag, able to pick that up here by himself. And we're seeing a lot of presence already in the buildings here out of Exertus. Actually, out of both teams, you see 3 men on the side of Gamers Connection, 2 out of Exertus's, but A looks like it's finally going over in the hands of Gamers Connection here, and they have an early 2-1.
Well, Exertus is still close by. Malcolm not really letting go, watching the push across fine. Jika does get one, not going to get the second. And that's allowed Hexus to kind of control this one a little further. So they have locked down that A site now. That is fully under control, but B is up in the air. However, Zaya in this sort of spot can really do some damage, but gets taken down in the end by Core. And B probably, if they get the numbers towards it, should go in favor to Exertus, who are on the US side.
Well, Hexus, the only man standing, does get taken down, unfortunately, over at that B flag. So looks like B will go back over to the side of Exertus here in just a few seconds. See to push on C at the same time here. But, you talked about the random respawns. And funny enough, Exertus had a respawn all the way towards the west side of the map here. But luckily for them, though, because of that, they got the respawns on top of them. And from that, they pushed straight into the B flag. They were able to pick it up here. And well, Gamers Connection able to clean up over at the C flag here in the meantime. So flags turning really quickly here between both of them. But that's what we expect out of the beginning of the game anyways.
Yeah, most certainly. So B and C being contested, and this is what I expected, this fast-paced changing of hands, the sides going back and forward, and that's pretty much what we're going to get. I think we need to give it a couple of minutes or a minute odd to let it settle into place. Otherwise, it's just too quick. It's just going back and forward. And they need to calm themselves down, obviously playing a very tough game right now. You can see that the buildings have been near on decimated here. Not completely destroyed just yet, but this is what I was talking about, the engineer classes. Generally, I'm surprised it's not happened over here more. That's one that kind of slightly makes it easier to push down from C towards that B site.
Well, Rello's the only man still running with the engineer kit, though. I believe it's because he hasn't really died back there recently. I'm actually curious to see what he's going to do with it. Maybe he's going to hit the buildings when he needs to, but either way, B being contested right now. Looks like Gamers Connection might be able to pick this up here, though. She is surrounded by 3 men, and I don't really think he's going to last too long with that nade right behind him here. He will get killed here. That will be turned over to Exertus right now.
Yep, there's Exertus on the US side, taking over that B flag. I do apologize about the overlay. That will be fixed nice and quickly, and the signs will be changed over in that little look there. But yes, B and C being held. Unorthodox to an extent, but it's working. If they can control these buildings still, they can make it hurt. They need to frustrate and keep back Gamers Connection, who are on the Chinese side, towards this sort of aspect. But let's see if this one pays off.
Right now, Core and Wyros both doing a great job of really holding down these buildings. They're making it almost impossible for the side of Gamers Connection to push into it. And, you know, we talked about Exertus, we talked about Gamers Connection, probably GC being the more favorited team in this one, but Exertus, they're coming out strong here with that 2-1. They have a little bit of a lead here. Unfortunately, they did just lose out on C. In the meantime, here's Malcolm just swings around trying to help out here. But either way, Gamers Connection, they're fighting back. They're showing that even though they've had a little bit of delays, maybe not as much warmth as they wanted, they're still a very strong team.
Oh, they certainly are. 120 to 114 is absolutely nothing at this point. Still very close. So Exertus just controlling those buildings still. Exertus on that US side, Chinese side being Gamers Connection. Scoreboard-wise, still pretty even, still pretty much the same. But all in all, everything is now set up. Zaya having an atrocious game so far, 0-6.
Wow, way to call him out on that one.
You got to call it how it is. He may not maybe feeling that pressure, but on the other hand, 6-3 playing well, looking like he may want to start impacting that B side. Get a triple cap, quite possibly, for Gamers Connection.
He very well could here, and it looks like Gio was able to pick up a kill at the C flag here. In the meantime, Fraud pushing towards that B flag. Able to pick up a kill himself here. He's got one man right in the building next to him here. As you can see, he knows he's there. He's going to push maybe in just a few seconds here. And this is a very crucial point, because if he picks up this kill, like, they're going to have a very strong hold here on the B flag. But he gets taken down, and Wyros, you mentioned it before, you know, as we were talking earlier about the teams, he's coming up big for him.
Yeah, a huge player. If he can keep up a good performance, 5-3 right now. If he can do well in this, he can turn it around. And this has been a bit of a chop and change through and through. B and C looks a little bit more favorable for Exertus, but that C site is hard to hold, because mostly there's a random respawn around here and one towards this side, as you can see on the screen. So it becomes a little bit difficult, but you can see Exertus trying to hedge their bets, heading out towards A to pick this one up off the back of it.
Yeah, there's so many angles you can't watch at the C flag, but the A flag, I mean, you just sit back in the bunkers and the trenches right here, and you obviously can control the entire push in.
For it. There we go.
All right, so looks like Kreiser going to sit back here, maybe wait for his chance to pick up a kill or two.
Wow.
But, well, he dies really quickly right there here. But still, I mean, we mentioned that, you know, the French side, we mentioned how quick, fast-paced their play is. It's proven to be true here. They're not really going for anything standard. They're constantly contesting all these flags. And right now, well, it's a 5-ticket difference, 4-ticket now.
See, this is the thing, though. These events, everyone starts stressing out. No one gets the big leads building. The strategies go out the window. But right then, Zam and Core pretty much cleaning house. Gamers Connection going to be sent packing away from A. They've got the far superior numbers here for Exertus. You can now start thinking about trying to reinforce B. They need to calm down. They need to slow down a little. They need to play smart. And I think they're doing that right here. I'm not sure if this C pickup and the reinforce. I don't know why they've got 2 players here. They shouldn't have spawned in 2 players. C is not the side they need to be focusing on, I feel. A and B are far superior, but maybe they feel they can go for the triple cap and hold it.
Well, right now they've been able to pick it up here, and right now, unfortunately, Gamers Connection hasn't been able to push in towards that A5 just yet. You see Chica moving his way there. Zam going to be watching for the cross. Spots that one guy. Gets the kill as well on Chica. So they're going to maintain it here, but the respawn's coming in from multiple directions out of Gamers Connection here. They're not really, I feel like they're flustered. They're not really making a call necessarily where they want to go here, because as you can see, they're barely capping over A. They're losing out on C at the same time here. And this is a big lead already built up now. 30 tickets almost here.
Yeah, Zam and Core doing great work over by the C flag, making sure they keep hold of it. And this is what's chipping away at the lead. They've now got a good, comfortable position to watch. If Malcolm can make sure he's watching the left side flank, he should have been watching this angle, because that's leaving C pretty vulnerable. And he has turned the attention over towards it. Finally watches the cross, You're going to be able to call out to the likes of Core to make sure that your attention is drawn towards that side, and leave the likes of Kryzer to try and make sure he's maintaining the south side of B. But they will be kind of surrounded here, which can be an issue, but hopefully they can work around that.
One thing that Exertus has been doing that I actually haven't seen out of most teams is that they have put a lot of emphasis on that satellite building straight to the south, right next to that B flag. They've kept one man there, whether it's Kryzer or Wyros, constantly, and because of that, they kind of have this really strong line hold of C and B here. But right now, it's looking to be broken here. The ticket lead getting very heavily in favor of Exertus right now, and Gamers Connection, they have to make a move soon. I mean, this game, it's very fast-paced. That triple kill we saw happen at the A5 has completely turned things in the tide of Exertus' favor. But they can't win out in these 1v1s, and they are struggling. You see Core, 13-7. You see Exam at 13-7 as well here. But on the side of Gamers Connection, 7-10, 3-11, 7-8. They do luckily have 9-9 out of Hexus and 8-8 out of Fraud, but you need more people to step up than that.
Most certainly do. And considering Gamers Connection on paper are by far the favorites here, it is not looking that way. And this is the thing, Gamers Connection are the aggressive French side who encompass that style very early on, but they're not displaying that. They're trying to play this tactical game, and if they're nervous, if they're not getting the shots they need, it's not going to work. And Exertus, they're playing depending on individuals, which I know they can. The thing that frustrated Fnatic, and it's paying off very well for them. However, finally we're seeing, excluding Malcolm, who can change things, who's done that. They could have gone to B then, but they were slow on the rotate, and they left it too long. And they're still stuck in a 2-1 with only 14 tickets left.
Malcolm just got 3 major kills right there. He was behind them. They didn't even notice right there. He was able to pick them up one by one, even get a respawn on top of that. And they had a tricap for a little bit, then they lost it really quickly. Though, as you can see, they're picking it back up. It's currently 84-6 tickets. And keep in mind, the first, 5 minutes of this game, it was dead even here.
And to end it on a triple cap as well for the first half, coming to that close, 84 ticket lead. That is massive for Exertus. They pretty much won this map, and I'm in shock. I've got to say it. That is not what I expected. Gamers Connection, they're struggling.
If we had any doubts in Exertus, they've completely wiped clean after that one. Core, 16-8, Zam, 15-8. Kryzer at 4-12. Yeah, you're always going to have that one guy who doesn't do amazing kills,
you
but
hold
his position,
maybe the back flag, you play that one job, and you can see they're pumped up from that. They are looking happy with that sort of result. And, well, obviously, Gamers Connection on the other side, not going to quite have that same look on their faces. I can imagine Worry might be the one. You have Zaya, Zika, Rella, all big, heavy hitters, not turning up at all in their performance in that.
See, this is what I was talking about earlier with you, the fact that we don't see teams ever switch to the Engineer class midway through a game.
Yeah.
And we saw right there that Exertus put a lot of emphasis on the buildings.
Yeah.
They try to use the angles very well here, and well, Gamers Connection, why didn't they just destroy them right then? Realizing that was the plan.
Gamers Connection were playing, okay, Exertus were actually playing quite a standard style. They weren't playing the super aggressive style. They were holding C and B, which is damn hard to do. And for me, Gamers Connection should have focused the sides better, done slower rotates, so left maybe 2 players out on A just in the trenches or close by watching the push across, rotate 3 out towards C, and then hold A and C. Leave B alone. Watch the pushes across, create the crossfires, play smart. But they didn't do that, and now Gamers Connection, they're going to be down a massive amount of tickets. 84 is huge. If you ask any of the other teams, they'll generally say if you have that 80 ticket deficit, you're almost done in the second half.
Yeah, you think, what, 70 tickets? And I mean, you could pretty much almost turn that into a TDM at that point. As long as you get a 2-cap for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, you'll pretty much have a guaranteed victory here. And we mentioned before, if Exertus want to win, they need to come out strong in this first map. And well, so far they've done it here. And obviously going to be going over to Siege of Shanghai, which is Gamers Connection's choice next. It's going to make things a little bit tougher for them. But either way, we're kicking off this second half here. Obviously, swapping the sides. Over on the US side, it will be Gamers Connection. And over on the Chinese side, it will be Exertus here. And we're going to see how they're going to break this one down here. And right now, we're already having a little bit of a split come in. And Gamers Connection, they put a lot of emphasis over towards these buildings yet again. Yeah,
if we can make sure we get into game hicks, we are live now into this one. 12 seconds into the game, it looks like we already see a 2-1 hold in favor to Gamers Connection coming out of the gate swinging, but we know that this is kind of the way this map plays out. C is given over to the US side, which is Gamers Connection, and Exertus have to fight their way back in. However, this sort of play out on towards A might make a bit of a difference. So, at the moment, slower build-up. We know that Exertus can take their time now, and they've got a triple cap against them, but they can build back in. They can work into this. They don't need to rush. They can play smart. And they've got the kind of footing towards the right sides as well, but they need to make sure this doesn't start running away from them.
That's true. I mean, yeah, they can get away with a triple cap them getting. Not a big deal here, but they have to start picking things up. You don't want to give a French team momentum here. We see what teams can do in the past, and right now, I mean, they are struggling to pick up these 1v1s. Oh, but this is short-sighted.
Okay, they should have known the random respawn would have come in over here. This is why I'm saying we have players always in that singular building where core is. They should have had someone watching that. They're now going to give over C towards Exertus, unless someone can just drop on the side and take them down. Whoever's now moving in, Fraud should have been there about 20 seconds ago to stop that C pickup. Now Exertus have the foot in the door. They can build from that and maybe get down towards other sides.
Let's see if they can here. They'll actually go for a little bit of a flank towards the B flag. Here's to see Fraud with the height advantage. Be able to actually watch one out. You see why we're still running in the engineer class. They still have 2 men actually running, him and Malcolm. And he's working towards that satellite building, but gets taken down here. And right now, Exertus, obviously they have time to work with.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that they haven't really been able to break this just yet, and they're already down 40 tickets here in the second half, it's a little bit worrisome for me.
But look at the classes they're running. So they have Wirros with that CZ3A1. I think Core is running with the AEK. They're looking for the close range exchanges. They're looking for the faster paced game, but they need to do it fast. 97 tickets to 146. This has been turned around. They need to get rid of the construction in the area. Look, Wirros is now running the engineer, as is Malcolm. They need to make this change fast, otherwise it's going to get too far away from them. You can see they're chipping away at the buildings. They need to do it fast here, because the likes of Hexus have turned up now. Rela starting to get kills. And if only Games Connection were able to do this in the first half.
Well, right now, we're actually almost pretty much back to dead even to how we start off the game here. As you can see, Exertus dropping to almost 70 tickets right now, and they are definitely struggling. And you can see they're holding C, yeah. But Gamers Connection, I feel like they've gone to like kind of a standard play style, which is very unlike them. They're kind of just sitting on B and A, kind of maybe bring the fight to them a little bit once in a while here, but not too much, not to lose too many men. And you can see Relly's camped out, waiting for them to push into that building. He's going to actually have 1 man coming around from the side. Even spots him out with the RPG being launched here. But right now, I got to give credit to Gamers Connection not being flustered after that first game, after losing by 84 tickets. That is really tough to do. Yeah,
that is very impressive. But here we go. Finally, the build happens. The working up towards it. B is now in the hands of Exertus. C up in the air still.
Yeah, unfortunately, they actually lost out on that one. And right now, they're going to actually cap array in the meantime here. And it looks like they might be successful in this one. But again, they can't win out on the 1v1s. And just look at the kill difference. I mean, what? We had 18 kills on was it Zam last game? And you had like 14 or 15 on Malcolm. And right now, they are just a shadow of their former selves from that first half.
Yeah, and Fraud there. Left in a 1v1, not going to pick up the kill. He's going to be overmatched. And Wirros now picking up that C-side, waiting for the likes of Rela to push in towards him, but only 59 tickets left. They need to make this count. Malcolm probably being the bait over by A. He's going to get picked up very easily. And at the moment, Exertus really need to make that impact. They have B and C, but they need to make sure they hold on to it.
They're not set up, though. They're not set up at all to cover this B flag, not to mention the C flag at the same time. There's a 3-man push happening right there, and you see them falling 1 by 1 and haven't picked up a single kill. They're going to get 2 capped yet again. They even might get tri-capped if Gary's Connection are feeling a little bit cheeky for it. And I don't know what's happening within the Exertus camp, but they are struggling to a point of almost defeat.
Most certainly, 127 to 55 now. C being capped back over. Maybe depending on those random respawns to come in, and they're just not happening for them. Core goes down, and I want to say B might be taken. This could be another triple cap coming in for Gamers Connection. They could turn this one around. This is very possible.
They've almost done it. I mean, 52 tickets left on the side of Exertus. Obviously, they dropped to 0. That will be Gamers Connection picking up their first map, and it wasn't even their choice for this one, too.
No.
And right now, it looks like Exertus trying to attack the A flag. It seems like every time they switch to a flag to attack it, Gamers Connection is there prepared to defend it with more than enough men.
Yeah, 44 tickets now left with Exertus. They need to turn up at this very second. These are the final pushes they can make. A didn't work out. They tried to leave people back at B and then not push C. They look like they're all over the place. Finally, Gamers Connection are pulling their weight in this. And with 37 tickets left, Exertus needs to turn up in these very few seconds now. They've overcommitted towards C, the least favorable site. I think it's almost game over. I think Gamers Connection have turned this one around. They
just lost speed for this one because of a smart rotate coming out of Hexus. And you're seeing Malcolm try to defend on the C5. He's forced away from immediately and even gets taken down here. I think you're right. This is the final push coming in within the next few seconds. And Gamers Connection might have come back from an 84 ticket deficit to actually pick up a win on this first map here.
That is phenomenal stuff from Exertus. Really unable to close it out with such a lead. I don't know how they've managed to actually give this one away. Not performing individually, not performing as a team, but Gamers Connection from the very start of this, pulling out something incredible. 122 tickets up. It's just unbelievable to watch. 8 tickets now left with Exertus. They're finally getting a 2-1, but surely it's too late.
He has seen huge comebacks before, but I'm with you on this one. This one's almost impossible to come back from. You're sitting on 5 tickets. You can't afford to die anymore, and you still haven't even capped B just yet. Malcolm luckily picked up a kill, gets the revives in because those aren't necessary at this point. They had a 2-1, but can they hold on to it for another 40 tickets?
It's happened before, but I'm just not sure if Exertus are up to the challenge. Cornell has to move in towards that B site, and you can see Frod and Rella doing the damage, but ooh, that's a big bit of move there coming from Zam, picking up the double. 4 tickets left, get back on B. Please tell me you've secured it. They have, and they're expecting Zika now to move in. They near on squad wipe Gamers Connection. Maybe they're not done just yet.
They have 2 tickets left to go here. They have Malcolm actually down right now, so they might even force a ticket out of him to get the respawns in, but they're dying, and without the revives coming in, this might just not be it here. But a great effort coming out of Exertus in the last few seconds, and they still have 2 tickets to work with. They haven't gotten the revives in just yet, but they're still holding on. I mean, it is possible. They only have, what, 13 tickets up to work down on the side of Gamers Connection, and they've won?
They can. They can do this. They
have to hold B here. If they hold B, they've won it. It's that simple. And right now, well, B is going to be turned over too quickly. I feel like they have to get the flag right away here. They're not even pushing for it just yet. Kreiser finally going to make his way in here with 1 flag or 1 ticket remaining. And looks like they have picked up the kills. They maintain the flag as well. And if they pick up this kill, they could turn things around. But look at this, they're in flight from all different directions. Gamers Connection, after having a phenomenal lead the entire time, win it with only a 5-ticket lead.
That was a little too close for comfort there, though. Gamers Connection leaving it to the last couple of seconds to really secure that victory. Their first half performance was atrocious. Let's be very honest here. They were not warm, they were flustered, they were frustrated. And this is what I said, if they let that first little bit of a hiccup of them trying to set up and it didn't work out, get to them, they're going to be in the wrong mentality coming into this game. They're going to be focusing towards the wrong things, and they were. They were not picking up the sights, they were just in bits and pieces. Finally, that tactical style came into play with them. They slowed down a little, they made sure they focused on the sights, and Exertus just got outplayed.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Was it them warming up after the first half that did it, or was it them reading the other team? Because to me, they had the complete read. Like they read them like a book. They knew exactly what they were doing. Every time they went for a hit on a flag, they had 3, 4 people there waiting for them.
I just think they started actually playing the game. You don't suddenly improve that fast unless it's something just a bit of a mental issue in the way.
Right.
It was the frustration. It was the lack of warm-up. It was the, okay, we got to get into this. Oh, goddamn, okay, let's make sure we're ready. They went in with the wrong mentality on the first half and they got trounced. Second half, someone in that side went, okay, guys, focus now. Stop messing up. Play this as basic, as standard as you can, and then build up into it.
That's what's so weird. I seen them play standard. It was just really awkward to see for me. But either way, we're going over to Siege of Shanghai now. We haven't talked too much about it.
No.
But this is going to be an interesting one. We obviously mentioned a little bit about the long rotates from the CDA flag. We've already seen before just how different Gamers Connection hold flags. I mean, even Exertus, they were fine with the BC flag hold we just saw, obviously. And Siege of Shanghai, it's going to be an interesting one because this one, to me, it's a lot about strategy in terms of looking ahead into the future of like what you want to do, what you want to control. But you have to be able to aim here because that B flag is so necessary to hold on to, and you have to be able to pick up the kills because they come from so different directions and you only have one real spot to hide in.
Yeah, and the other important factor is this is Gamers Connection's choice. I don't believe we are actually
we're not
live into this, so we can come out of this because the teams aren't actually live, I don't believe.
I believe they're just talking to the admins really quick just to get a couple things sorted out, honestly, before this next map, which could decide, honestly, the fate of either of these teams. I mean, if you lose on this one, you're obviously a map down. If you, match down. If you lose one more, then you're out.
Pretty much, it's do or die for these guys. Exertus now have to prove themselves in this. I'm hoping they can start turning around their performances. And
it looks like we will be getting the restart in. All right, so any predictions for this one?
I think this is all going to be Gamers Connection.
I'm kind of with you on that one.
They're a team with solid performances on this map. They can play standard when they need to. This map does occasionally call for it. We've seen teams trying to incorporate, I believe it's the C site, into consistent play. I didn't like it. When they play the standard style, they'll do well. However, we'll have to wait and see. Exertus have the better spawn, so they should get the better start.
When we were casting the cups, we saw the A flag. I mean, we were talking about B as being one of the pivot points of the entire map for teams, but the A flag as well. We've seen, if you go for the long rotate, you kind of commit to that kind of style.
Yeah.
But we've seen teams pull off like 1v2s or 2v3s that completely turn the game around because you have to commit so much time for that one. And well, right now, obviously, we're kicking off here in just a few seconds. I believe the teams are good to go. I believe we're going to be getting live here in just a few seconds as Exertus going to be on the Chinese side, Gamers Connection over on the US side here. And let's see how both these teams go about it because this is going to determine the game plan for both of them.
Exertus has a sniper. So we are live in the game.
Yeah.
Let's get into this one.
I'm
sure about this choice.
Smart.
Wow, look at this peak.
I mean,
if he landed the shot, it'd be great.
Huh, so he's watching. Is he going to play like a back roll since obviously the Scar H is now? Is he going to snipe? I mean, he just got a kill right there. This is the first time we've legitimately seen a sniper rifle used. It's not bad if you sit in the back of C and you have a couple of angles you can watch. But right now he's forced to get aggressive and he gets taken down here, and that's almost a full squad wipe coming out of Exertus.
It looked like Gamers Connection tried to strat out their opening play on this, and it was absolutely appalling. I like this position though from Zam. This is really nice. Normally we see a player sitting here. He's adapted it and moved further back. It will make this plateau slightly weak, but they've got the players waiting in the corners here. So the crossfire is slightly adjusted, but Exertus have a really unique, and I actually quite like this setup. As long as no one sneaks through, as we saw Warose finding Zika, they can get a real solid start on this.
And it's weird because they're not really controlling middle, I feel like. They're not sitting there trying to hold on to that kind of alleyway, and they're kind of letting Gamers Connection run where they want to, but because of Zam being there, like you're saying, because he's able to spot them out, obviously give the information to his team, it's kind of like, all right, we know where they're going, we can rotate our men quick enough to get to that spot and to kind of hold on to it, because they've been able to maintain B here. Gamers Connection have been unable to break this defense just yet. Obviously, we just started off in the game, it's minute 30 in here.
It's still early.
But Exertus have lost only 2 tickets. Yep, 2 here in a minute and a half. That's really hard to do, let's just say that.
I don't know if it's just Gamers Connection not being able to perform in that first half and struggling, but it looks very similar to what we saw before. Exertus are holding this, and look at this play from Malcolm. Around the world looping, just making sure he's securing it when necessary. You're still seeing Zam held here. This is exactly the setup I like. So we're going to have Wiros kind of focusing around this midsection right here, holding that push. As soon as they may see a player slipping through, I can imagine Core might fall back or Malcolm to support. And there you go, you can see him falling back into place here. This guy probably going to get picked up by Malcolm at the back, which he did. And it's really, really solid. The only thing that may do it if they overmatch in mid for Gamers Connection, but I don't think they're reading it well enough just yet. And they've only got 5 kills on the Gamers Connection side.
Well, one thing I do like seeing that pretty much no team does these days is the fact of being content with holding 2 flags. Most teams, if they pick up 2, they're like, all right, let's be aggressive, let's push towards the next flag. But they're more than happy to sit here on B, more than happy to sit on A and just kind of hold that cross. I mean, they're finally losing on B a little bit here, but with the crossfire they have, the kills are picking up. They've been able to at least maintain or at least turn it over here in just a few seconds.
This is perfect stuff. This is exactly what I like. So now, let's see how Exertus respond.
Oh no, look at the A flag.
And look at these respawns. Look at Zika's spawn. Look at Zaya's spawn. They have the best spawn to challenge this.
And Zam's forced to go back towards the A flag. In the meantime, B, it looks actually it's going to be maintained here by Exertus. And
wow.
Right now, Fraud's the only man to defend onto the A flags. We actually closed in from multiple directions here. But this is a slip that we were looking for Gamers Connection to maybe make. Finally get into the A flag, force Exertus to get in your face and play to your style. But right now, well, they do pick up the kills. They actually do maintain it. So it looks like they will pick up a 2-1 here. But now, will we see Exertus push to C? Or are they going to focus on the A flag where they seem really comfortable?
Well, let's find out. So we're going to come down towards a 3v2 pretty much. Nade's being put out in place. Rose with that AEK coming out on top. But Zaya and Zika finding the clear up kills. And now Zam is surrounded. He's in trouble.
Well, he's also dead now. Unfortunately for him here. So finally, a CNA hold coming in out of Gamers Connection. It's a little bit late. As you can see, they were pretty much down 70 tickets at one point in the game. But they started to pick up kills. They're picking up momentum. They now have 15 kills, tripling what they had before, funny enough. But can they maintain it here? That's the real question. And it looks like they're not even going to attack the B flag. Huh, this is really weird to see because, like you're saying before, B is kind of a must-hold flag here. But they're sitting on C, they're sitting on A, and they seem to be happy with it.
Well, it won't be for long because Zam's going to try and cap it. They're putting Chrysler into place. Whereas is getting ready to hold the rotate. It looks like Exertus are faking out, I think, C to draw players back and then going to split someone down towards A if they get the spawns for it. At the moment, I'm not sure if they have to. They could walk away with the C flag if everything keeps going the way it is. Rose is there picking up the kills, and they've cleared up the site. And there goes that player splitting round towards the back of A. It's what they wanted to do the entire time, and they're going to get it perfectly in the bag here. They may pick up B top chat, Gamers Connection. They may do that, but overall, it's not a bad way to exchange.
Well, they read into that as well. I mean, take and see it, pulled him toward that direction. Kreiser, well, he's going to get the perfect flank on safe flag. He's going to pick it up, though they're going to lose B in the meantime. They weren't able to really hold on to that, and they might even lose C as well here. So, Gamer Section trying to get the read, trying to understand exactly how Exertus play, and it seems like they finally bought the book that they needed to see the strategy, and they started to really rotate around for this one.
Yeah, and Exertus have basically pulled off a full map rotate. They started at B, started to lose it, moved on towards C, lost it, but now they picked up the A side and they're going to build back towards the B flag, and that's what they've done. They've basically gone on a full map rotate, they dragged Gamers Connection around, it got a little closer, but they're going to walk away with an A-B hold, and they'll get back in position as long as they do it fast enough. They're going to probably push out, get a couple of kills, get the respawns in, reinforce the roadside here, and then get back into the standard spot. So once they clear up that final player, Fraud, they're going to get into the same spot. There we go. Finally, Zam comes around, gets the double, and they're going to finally get in position. Malcolm is not, however, in place. That might make a vulnerable side on that west flank.
Now we see Exertus actually going for a tri-cap here. Zam won't be back at that that far southwest position that you were mentioning right now, and well, A's is left alone in the backside. I mean, they're going to actually come in for a back cap here, and Exertus is really cool to see. You pointed out they hit C so they could hit A and hit B again. They have that nice little rotate coming in that counterclockwise fashion, but they're going to lose A. They're still maintaining C though. As you can see, it's about 50 ticket advantage here for Exertus, but we saw they had an 84 in the first map in the first half, and they lost that one still. True,
but Exertus' playstyle on this is far more well-rounded. They're actually doing exactly what they need to, and they're going to get a triple cap just to finish this off with if they want to. 36 tickets left with Gamers Connection. They've got the back C spawns, the worst one you can really have. And Exertus can now make this hurt. They're being challenged onto B, but Core is still in a great spot with the AEK, a close-range, high fire rate gun that can just do that to anyone trying to push. Finds ready, he will get taken down, a little bit of a careless peek then, getting too far ahead. That might cost them the B site, but 26 tickets left. They can build back up to this, and I don't think Gamers Connection can do much at this point now.
Well, we're going to find out. Obviously, Gamers Connection are definitely going to try for this one after they have that one map lead. And we're actually seeing Exertus going for a long rotate onto C. Says, when the hell have we ever seen that? To go from the A flag to the C flag and a long rotate down the road?
They like their full rotations. They know how to push and pull teams to get them coming back and forward. And Wiro's there just throwing away. He knew Fraud was around, but his teammate did pick it up. Ooh, starting to hurt a little. But still, as you said, they pushed him around. They got killed. They should have made a faster push towards B there to actually get the site in hand. This will give Gamers Connection a couple of seconds now to get into a position where they can actually defend this.
I mean, you think about, you know, seconds in this game do mean a lot. Obviously, you know, having that extra 5 seconds of a man advantage can obviously turn a flag back to yourself here, or to your side. And right now, Kreiser are going to start to push in towards the B flag. Looks like they have been able to clean this one up. There's going to be one man in the back of the site, though. And, well, Relo will pick up the kill onto him here, so he's still defending. Doesn't have any respawns coming in just yet here. But the 2-1 is true yet again. We're going to see a final push come in here in just a few for Gamers Connection. And if they don't take a second flag here, they're looking at a 70, maybe 65 ticket deficit.
Yeah, and if Exertus can replicate the playstyle that seems quite fundamental to them, they're going to win the second half as well. We're going to have to go to that third map. But well, Zam and Malcolm making it hurt. 10 tickets left in the first half. I think this is almost done and dusted.
And the thing is, I mean, they start on the Chinese side, so they have a favorable spot with A and B. I wonder how they're going to work over on the US side, though, how they're going to push in. And obviously right now we see B being contested. It looks like it still will be maintained here by Exertus as there's 4 tickets left to go. And just the respawns alone are going to eat away at the last few remaining tickets here out of Gamers Connection. But you know, on the US side, obviously when they lost that BA hold, what did they do? They pushed into C, and they forced them to go for the rotate over there and then just kind of hit A and B back again. Are they going for something similar this time? I wonder if they're going to actually send a lot of presence towards the A flag.
Well, we'll wait and see. 65 tickets will be the advantage to Exertus on the half. That's a big, nice amount to work with. Not substantial as the previous map, but their playstyle was absolutely on point there. Let's break it down a little bit. Exertus did have the better spawn, let's be very honest, and they built off the back of that. Their hold on A and B was stunning. It's something that other teams do work with. I like their adaptation of Malcolm being a little further down towards the southwest, playing a little bit more passively. But then he also adapted. We saw Gamers Connection starting to build back through the streets. They started to get a couple of players getting closer towards that plateau. They went, okay, let's switch up here. So Malcolm moved up a little bit, played by the standardized stairs that we saw Fnatic doing a couple of times, and then started to build around the back. So they have adaptation to that, and that's what Exertus didn't have on Storm, I feel. So this is a bit of a better map for them. I think they could do this. It's a closer one because they had to go on those long rotates, but I think 65 tickets around that marker is a very solid half for these guys.
I feel like they showed their hand, though. I mean, obviously you're going to have to, but they showed we want A and B. this is how we're going to hold it.
Yeah, but we have 20/20 vision. We have maps. We have everything visual to us. The other side, they just see, okay, I got killed by Malcolm pushing on the West Road. You know, you don't just instantly go, that's the setup, that's the setup, that's the setup. It's not that simple when you're in the moment. You're focused on everything but the overall map.
So if Gamers Connection win this half, I'm going to call them probably one of the smartest teams here today. No, in terms of just reading into the strategy. Because
well, it's
I feel
now their turn. It's their turn to lead. That's the difference.
I feel like on Storm, they finally understood Exertus after the first half, and we're like, all right, this is how we're going to counter it here. And I wonder if they can do that again. Obviously, we're going to find out here in just a few seconds as a countdown just going to tick away in the last few moments here. But again, 65 tickets. I mean, it's not 84. But that is nothing to scoff at. This is something that, you know, Gamers Connection have to be worried about.
Let's bear in mind, Exertus are a team that no one expected to get to this point. They're a team that have turned up and they've consistently pressured so far, and I want to see what start we see coming out from these guys. Here we go. So let's get into the game. We are live into the second half here, and we are seeing a very passive start from Gamers Connection. They don't want to get too aggressive right now, but Wiros is right in their face. He's got the AEK. He's looking to challenge. That's a stubby grip right there. He has got the close range power, and they're going straight the A-B flag, and they might get a triple cap start if they win these 1v1s. Oh, he just goes down there.
And they're still winning on B. They're actually going to flank on Ajik in the meantime here. As you can see, he's the last man standing. He's pulling off some slick moves here, but he finally does get taken down. So B will be picked up by Exertus and maintained. C is held onto for now here. So nice strong start out of Exertus, but Gamers Connection, what happened? Stronger side, didn't get the 2-to-1 hold, and right now they're looking at potentially a map number 3.
Exertus should have rotated to A though. They're over-focusing C. They've not got their heads screwed on in the right way now. Why are you still messing around by C? I know they want to help defend the B flag, but they should have already gone off this right around towards A and picked it up, because that is a free site. Finally, Wiros gets over here, but that was 10, 20 seconds too late, and that's a lot of tickets they could have capitalized on, holding a 2-to-1, and now they could be threatened, and they are. That was a mistake. That's them maybe not having the comms on point.
Well, they're actually losing on B here, even though they have 2 men there. As you can see, A flag being hit really hard here by Gamers Connection, even coming in from multiple directions. Malcolm able to maintain the B flag, though, as you can see, able to hold on to it for now, but the thing is, they don't even have it. And you know, we saw last game how close it was. It was 5 ticket difference in the end, with obviously Gamers Connection winning that one. But you know, every second that goes by, every ticket that you lose, every respawn that you use as well, it can really make you lose a game here. And well, right now, they've still been able to maintain B.
Even while you were talking, that guy was going to town. He tried to hold it as much as possible. Now Exertus have to go on the long rotate. Kryzer literally doing it. I'm hoping he can hold his nerve now. Get the respawns in on him, I feel would be the best option, which he's doing. And then work around the back. So these guys need to show their presence on the road, otherwise alarm bells will ring for Gamers Connection, and they can move in off the back of that, and that's what they're going to do. Kryzer gets the kill, Hex is down, A is open. They're going to get that. They'll probably sacrifice C and push over towards B, leaving these 2 players to die up in the north, Zam and Core, and respawn in on these 2 down towards the mid.
And it was a nice 2-man hit at the A flag in the meantime there. As you had Wyroz actually, he went towards the balcony, killed someone from behind, then you had Kryzer coming from the backside at the A flag, picks it up, and yeah, they get the flag here. They haven't been able to push towards B just yet, but
they're building.
With Exertus getting the A flag, or at least the kill right there, that might be the moment, because look where Exertus are respawning. They're right next to the A flag here. They have the potential to push straight into B if they want. They have potential to push into A if they want as well, but they get wiped out here.
That was a lucky spawn for Gamers Connection. To get back A spawn, that is very, very lucky. And I feel quite bad for Exertus, because now they're pushed up towards C. They played it correctly, didn't spawn it on the right places, and now they're pushed back. It's how it happens. Kryzer does have a long old walk down towards B. They've got a good spot on the play around the back, so he knows he's here. He should be able to get these shots down quickly. He's over tunnel visioning it, but hopefully they do get this one in the bag. A and B is now being held. Challenge does come in though, and Rella looks like he's doing some damage. Fraud, however, not being able to keep up the pace means that B is looking like it's going to be challenged.
Should be capped over. I'm surprised they haven't jumped on it just yet. That's a lot of time that they kind of just wasted out, but they're going to get it nonetheless here. Now we see, well, Gamers Connection going for the long rotate around the backside of C, and this might be the moment that, you know, Exertus is waiting for. If there's going to be a big hit on C with 3 people, why not just push towards A, kill the 2, get your A-B hold that you used so well here in the first half, and right now Jika is going to get the perfect flank on them, but is he going to get the kill though? He's missing on quite a few shots. Now he's giving away his position here. And he actually might go down from this one. This is going to be very bad for him if he does die, because they committed so much time to this. Yeah,
and this is when you pray you had the angle grip for those first 2 shots to land perfectly. Obviously, not going to be running with that with an AEK. It's kind of like a oxymoron to pick that one up, but still, he should have landed those a little sooner. He's now surrounded. It's not going to go well. He's kind of pulling players back, which is good, and leaving the main hit to come down towards B. Core, however, is making a stand of this. Does get 1, but he will fall. But the support through mid is coming in. But you can see the push coming on all fronts. Rella now in a 1v3.
and see if he's going to hold on from this one. He's the last man standing in his squad. He's going to need a couple of respawns in to help out. Gets Kreiser. Looking for maybe a couple more here, but he does get taken down, so that will be, well, luckily for him, his team getting the respawn in on top of him, but they're not surviving, they're not picking up the kills here, and this is going to be a wipe, I want to say. Unless Hex is going big, but he doesn't. He gets shut down. And that will be C and B maintained, but A is wide open here, and this is the perfect situation. This is exactly what Exertus wants, and this is what they're going to get. They have one man already working around towards it, Wyroz, and the rest of the team is just holding that middle section so no one can reinforce the A flag.
Oh, and this is nice from Zam. Keeping their attention everywhere, not even saying, hey, you don't even get C for free. We're going to make sure we are still here. And those tickets are getting low. Look at this, 65, 79. Game is connection. They need to turn up right now, or they're pretty much done for. These are the final couple of pushes. And look at Zam. Every single kill is taking so much time away from the opposition. That is phenomenal play.
And with him just being there, he's pulled, what, 3, 4 people? Maintaining at the C flag. Yeah, they have one guy finally towards A flag, but if Wyroz goes down, which he does, that's going to be it. Or not Wyroz, sorry, Fraud. If he goes down, that's going to be it. They're going to have A, they're going to have B, and there's no time. No time to take 2-1 back here. So that's going to be Gamers Connection picking, or not Gamers Connection, sorry, Exertus picking up the second map. That means we're going to map number 3 here.
We are going to map number 3. It's what I expected from these two. Brilliant play. Obviously, they're going to just play this one out, make sure they're warmed up here, but all in all, I've got to say it, Exertus played a smart game, a clever game, and there was no way they were going to lose that if they were even able to replicate in a small way what they did on the first map. So very well done on the second there. You got to give credit where it's due. The crowd is starting to build, the pressure's starting to get on, and Exertus played that like a tactical team. They had the close range weapons. We saw a lot of AEKs in play then, like Wyroz, for example. CZ3A1 wasn't picked up. But still, they like that close range element, the stubby grip combo there, maybe the muzzle break. And we saw that kind of being the downfall as well for like Zika then when he tried to land that little cheeky double shot. Not going to happen.
Like, oops.
Angle grip, and it's not going to happen. But their rotates were crisp. They'd clearly worked that map out. And I'm surprised that that wasn't their map choice. And the thing that now worries me for the likes of Gamers Connection is the fact that this map coming up, Dawnbreaker, is the one map where Exertus completely shook the opposition of Fnatic when they had to qualify before.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting to see because you talked about, you know, the C flag in particular. Obviously, it's not like the most desirable flag to have. It's not the kind of one that you necessarily need. Obviously, you can go for A, but there's a position in the C area that completely cuts off anyone coming in from the backside. And knowing that you can't get flanked and knowing you're going to have the vision from everyone coming in from multiple different, you know, angles, it makes it easy to hold the flag here. And obviously, we're going to find out, you know, what's the emphasis on the B flag here to both teams. Obviously, you know, we saw in the early stages of Dawnbreaker, everyone wanted Catwalk. Like, everyone wanted to maintain it. But now,
Scar H.
Oh, yeah. And now people are like, you know what? Don't necessarily need it. We can hide from that section. We can take Dog Walk instead and hold it from there.
Yeah, and Exertus are one of those teams that play the inward building setup. They like the corridors. They play it very competently. That's what I'm expecting from them, to play that inner building game. So locking down the dog walk. Big map for Wyroz, though. He was one of the players who actually played the... it's the side room, basically. The side room towards B. I'll try and highlight it when I go in game. And it infuriated Fnatic beyond belief. They're one of the teams that can play this map very aggressive. They go for the quick rotates, and they go for the fast, aggressive play. I'm hoping we see something similar here. Gamers Connection, they play a little more standard, but they still have that pressure. They can still play that unorthodox style as well. So there's a lot of things up in the air here. And welcome, obviously, to the Battlefield ESL 1. If you are just joining us, guys, and obviously we just like to put the camera on them. Like, hey, this is what you get for joining our lovely little booth.
Get a little 10 seconds of fame there. But obviously, you know, Dawnbreaker, it's so weird. It's different than every other map. Just the fact that it's linear. Just the fact that it's not kind of a triangle hold with the flags.
Yep.
And we've seen so many different ways of going about the hold as well. I mean, you think of Epsilon, obviously, if you guys haven't really seen them, they kind of go for a really interesting hold where they want A, they want B, and they kind of watch that long roadside, that long rotate from coming in, and then they kind of set up at the make spot or the hedges as well, and they kind of just maintain this nice line hold. And when you have Duke, you know, going off on the team, he's really hard to really take down. But obviously coming into this one, these two teams play it differently. And we're going to find out exactly what they prepared here because, you know, obviously you want to be able to win your first one. You don't have to go into the loser bracket right away. You'll be going up against the winner of Fnatic versus Vox, which will still be a tough match. But you want that early high. You want that early win to really get you going.
You certainly do. So at the moment, Exertus, I think they're in a good point. I think, for me, I said at the start, Gamers Connection will want to win in the first two. As they've not been able to do that, this is now Exertus' time. They started strong in the first, slipped in the second half of the first map, but they still had a great performance on the first half. However, on this, I think it comes down to a solid beginning from them. Get that confidence building, play that inner map style, the way that they kind of adapted themselves, run with those CZs. I want to see that CZ back in play. CZ 3A1 as a choice weapon. I'm sure maybe hedges bets a little bit more with the AK, but I think it's an option, and it should be something they're willing to go to.
And we've seen the engineer class come in for this one. We've seen it specifically to take out that spot, that outpost spot at the C flag, to kind of just break that one down, make so you can't kind of sit there in your perfect cover in your own little world. I wonder if we're going to see something like that yet again. I wonder actually how the initial start's going to go here, because, well, if you think of Dignitas back in the day, they sent one-man jerk straight through the bomb side of the map, try to get towards C to kind of cause a little bit of a nuisance. Then we saw some teams start to adapt by sending people, instead of going straight towards B, where you actually lose out in the beginning over on the Chinese side, they set men towards C at the same, or instead, they kind of hit him from the back or hit him from the building to get a little bit of an advantageous angle. I wonder what these teams are going to do.
Well, it looks like Gamers Connection clearly have tried to work out how they want to start maps, as we saw with that sniper in play. Not sure if I like that at all. In theory, it's great, but practically, I'm not sold on that. I like the idea, guys. The execution, however, was lacking.
It's not something that costs in the game, though.
No, not at all. But at the start, you want to get the best possible beginning, and if you're not getting it going quickly, that's when those 10, 20 tickets will start really making the odds. So I'm hoping that these guys have worked out a good, solid beginning. They've kind of made sure they're not overcompensating either way. We'll have to wait and see what these guys really have going on here. You can see the couple of teams warming up in the background. Battlefield Hardline obviously coming up very soon. It'll be interesting to see how many of these teams are already looking towards that one, possibly, maybe considering their options there. Obviously a game that is really gaining ground in the competitive community. I know Jack Frags is actually around Gamescom right now. He's going to be probably playing this one a little later, I can imagine.
Oh, okay.
But still.
The man that found the Megalodon. Was it actually him, or was it someone else?
I'm not sold. I don't think it was him. I think it was like one of his subs who helped him out, so.
But it was sweet, though.
It was
pretty
awesome.
sweet.
It ruined my KDA and my complete rankings.
Yeah, that's what ruined it, definitely.
It certainly wasn't you, Scrub.
But guys, just to update you, we're just waiting for, I believe, one of the teams to get ready. They having, I think, a little talk right now, just trying to sort things out, having a little bit of a break here, and hopefully things will get started in just a few seconds. As you can see, they're actually on the server. They're still warming up a little bit, and we should be getting this game underway. But, I never would have thought this would have went to a 3-mapper. I mean, Exertus, obviously, they're a strong team.
I had faith, man. I had faith.
I mean, they're a strong team, but I never thought that they would be able to challenge Gamers Connection like that. I mean, 84 tickets in the first map, that was something that's impossible to really come back from, but Gamers Connection did it.
Crack of the fingers, a couple of sips of water, and it looks like they're just getting themselves ready. You can see PKD keeping very close eyes. Planky Dynamics, just the ones standing up and getting ready, because I think it's almost time to get into our final map. Your predictions on this?
I usually always suck at these. You saw the community out there, 88% in favor.
Community, you're doing it wrong.
It hasn't changed since it started, which is kind of funny. But it's gonna be interesting here, and I believe we are live. I'm not gonna say that just yet. I'm just trying to make sure really quickly.
Yep,
we are live here. So I guess we can drop in a game really quickly, just kind of show you the positions that we expect the teams to go. As we're gonna have over on the Chinese side, it will be Gamers Connection, and over on the US side, it will be Exertus.
So, deciding map, I think I'm going to have to stick with my prediction earlier. If we were going to see Dawnbreaker, I was going to go with Exertus. Their performance against Fnatic was astounding, and I think they'll be able to replicate that here.
I just realized I didn't answer.
Yeah, you didn't.
I didn't even intend to walk the fence on that one. I'm going to give this one over to Exertus. Exertus, yeah, I'll go with you on that.
Oh,
if I'm wrong, you're wrong too.
Oh, wow, okay, that is a wussy way of doing things, but as the US side is Exertus, they pretty much start with C in the bag, but a slow pickup on towards A could mean danger very early on. I would not want to play Exertus in this inner building game, because right now they have the BC hold and A yet to be captured for Gamers Connection.
Interesting to see that, actually, so you can send one man off for it, but got to credit to Relly. Actually went for a little bit of a push into that second building towards C. Actually got a couple of flank kills in that one, so it definitely opened things up for him. But either way, Catwalk, it's being maintained by Exertus. I don't know if I like this necessarily. And we see a lot of teams commit a lot of time and resources to it, but never see it work out too well. And well, right now, as you can see, B's being capped over. He's not even visible from Catwalk, and this is the downside I was talking about.
It's a scrappy start from both teams. I'm not reading into this until like maybe 2 minutes into the game here, because look at Kryzer route up towards 8. No one defending it, no one holding it. This is where we'd see Horek or someone along those lines always holding that long push up. He's going to get into a for free, gets the respawns. We've got a back spawn coming out for Exertus. It's so scrappy right now. But regardless of scrappiness or not, this could be a trip cap for Exertus.
It very well could, and actually it's going to be here. If they can maintain the A-hold as well, they're going to be able to pick this one up for quite a long time, and it looks like they've been able to. Kryzer did get taken down, but they pushed them back here. Finally, Gamers Collection is sending 3 or 4 men to push into that one. C going to be left wide open here for Exertus to maintain. As you can see, there's 1 man back there, and Malcolm trying to hold it into these inner quarters. And you mentioned before, Exertus, if they get into this area, if they get into these one-on-one battles, as you see Malcolm pick up 2 big kills, they're really hard to beat there. And right now, it's working out well from 144 to 114. Exertus has yet to not win a first half here by a large margin. And, well, they're starting to do it yet again here.
Yeah, this was the small side room I was talking about. The one right there, that they are phenomenal at playing out. They can play out of this pretty much. So certainly something you need to keep in mind when you're facing them as an opponent. And well, Worrow's happy to go on the long pushes through. I'm not sure if he got spotted out then. I think he might have done. Maybe not actually, they haven't spotted him out. So he's going on the long build up towards A, and they've got enough of an advantage early on to be able to take these slightly slower routes. As long as they maintain on C and keep that in mind, they're doing okay right now. But Gamers Connection do start building against them.
Yeah, and you don't want to give momentum over to them as well here.
Oh, no.
You can see that, well, they know the A flag has been pushed. They know there's 1 or 2 men back there. As you can see, Core just trying to hold on to the C building. And they have 2 men there to defend against it here. And as you see, even Exertus committing a lot of extra resources. Sending another man to respawn or 2. Going to get a nice position on a fraud there. Takes him down. We'll get another kill, that time onto Hexus. And that's opened up the A flag here. They're going to lose C for this one, potentially. But a ballsy play, but it works out.
Yeah, only Rella left alive. Neuron squad wipe, so they can get another triple cap if they get down to the sites correctly. I can imagine Gamers Connection will depend on the random respawn. It does get them in a nice position. It's not the worst random respawn in the world. Frod will be working up towards B, but look at this. Look at this play. A, B, and C held. We've got Core playing at the back. I'm surprised he's not in the little hut right back here, because this is the hut you can basically make sure you force the spawns outside. And this is what he's done. He's forced the likes of Hexus to be out here towards the side. He's going to be trying to shoot upwards, have a massive disadvantage. Kryzer in a 1v2, but maybe just kind of holding onto A as long as possible to allow Rose maybe to fall back when it's time to maintain B and C.
Well, Warriors is going to do exactly that, falling back towards that B flag. You're going to leave actually 1 man back there to maybe defend. Core picks up a nice kill. He's going to continue to be a nuisance here, but in the meantime, you know, Gamers Collection, they can't get a break towards C. They can't get a respawn that they favor, and yeah, we had about, what, a 30-ticket lead here for Exertus that they lost. We're trying to go for the long rotate, but it worked out for them. They have the 2-1 yet again. They have a 40-ticket advantage now, and that's only getting bigger. And
they have that player in the side room, the little file cabinet room that they absolutely love. They create the best crossfires here. And look, they're being able to sneak Malcolm up as well. Joined by Kryzer, they're knowing they're losing out on C. There's the prediction read. There's your take on A. That is why Exertus are dangerous on this map. They're fast, they're potent, and they're damn strong. And Neuron squad wide Gamers Connection.
You want to know why that happened? Core killed 3 people in that side room.
There you go.
Such a beast right there. I mean, taking on 3 people is very, very tough to do, especially when they know where you are. But, well, it's not in the AB hole. They're still maintaining the 2-1. They built up, going on a 60-ticket lead here. Then again, we've seen Gamers Connection come back from this one. It just takes them a little bit of time to, you know, maybe understand the actual strategy that the team they're going up against is using. You see, Gia trying to push in towards the A flag here, but he's got 2 men to worry about, and they already know he's there. It's going to be too tough to really get into that.
Yeah, and to be credit to Gamers Connection, top A chat, at least they're not wasting their pushes. When they make them, they're fairly good. They're not just running in haphazardly, hence why the ticket deficit is not gigantic just yet, even after all these squad wipes and real persistent issues. But at the moment, when a player like Core is on 11-3, Worrow's, who plays a similar style, is on 9-3, you know you're going to be struggling. And at the moment, Exertus now have to build back into this B site or split up towards A. And let's see what they're doing. They're splitting A. However, at the moment, I was Frod holding it, but he does go down in the end. So they're able to adapt to any situation. And I think Gamers Connection are a step behind, which is the problem.
What's weird is it's not like it's a slaughter in terms of kills. I mean, it's 35-22. That's not a huge margin at all. It's just the fact that Exertus are outplaying them so much. The kills they are getting are making it so they can maintain the flag holds. And, well, they're going to pick B back up. You see Gia trying to cap over C. He will be able to secure it here, but as you see Frod towards the hedges, he's trying to push in towards B, and he's in a very ballsy spot, but he actually pays a price where he gets taken down after that one. And again, Exertus, they're showing no remorse here, constantly just pushing in, constantly picking up the kills. and they are not dropping this 2-1.
No, they are not. They are holding this. They're being pressured on towards B. When they play more standard, it becomes a little bit more worrying, but then Kryzer can play these sort of spots very well, utilizing those inner building corridors to the best of his advantage. Malcolm is under a little bit of scrutiny, but will be taken down in the end. But regardless, they can depend on maybe a random spawn if they want to, or come into towards the back of C, or maybe build from A down towards that B site. So there's several options still available to Exertus. They got the back spawn. That's a little bit of a rarity, but it pays off well for them. And they can maybe build down towards that B side, depending on where they want to go. They build up a couple of kills inside. They're chipping away at that route.
And this is where the momentum's always shifted for Gamers Connection. This is where they start to really show up and really claw away at the lead that, you know, Exertus has. But I don't know if they can do it yet again here. They're going to lose B one more time. And you see Hex is trying to watch the flank here towards the C flag. Was able to pick up a nice little bit of a kill and potentially push back into B. As you see, his teammates going to be flooding the side as well. Gia in the prime position picks up the kills. So they will turn B back over here. But again, they're still losing quite a few men to really make this one happen. And Exertus still have a 70-ticket lead pretty much. So it's not like Exertus are in a hurry to close this one out, but the bigger the lead, the better, obviously, for him.
Oh, yeah. And Core is enjoying this position. He's got the best gun for it. Yeah, angle grip just so he can maintain towards the B side a little, make sure he can shoot down these corridors. But mostly they are in such a prime position. They have good aggressive players, they've got good passive players. It's very close because at least Gamers Connection, aka Top Chat, have been playing smart with their pushes, but overall it's been outplayed. Zion gets a foot towards the side, gets knocked back, and it's that consistent back and forth. Rella gets a foot in. Where's the challenge going to come from? Is it A? Is it B? Is it inside? They finally have a chance here. They could get a good couple of tickets away, but you know there's a lot of room to breathe here for Exertus.
There is, but it's worrying for me the fact that they haven't been able to close this out just yet. Obviously, I mean, I'm being a little harsh. They have a huge lead, so it's not something that is really, you know, essential for them to pick up the win, but just the fact that you're giving Gamers Connection that momentum, whether or not, you know, Gamers Connection lose the first half, you still give them a little bit of a morale boost for their team, and definitely don't want to see a team like them really pick something like that up. But right now, Exertus, I mean, they're playing from the back foot, and they are struggling to get a 2-1 back. They're struggling to get B. They're struggling to really make the push in that they want, and Core is actually going for the very long rotate towards C, where no one's even watching right now. Yeah,
he's got a long journey ahead of him, but at the moment, still fight breaking out on towards the B side. Flat out exchanges between players going on. Gamers Connection, top 8 chat, trying to play more a standardized style, putting players on the catwalk. But it looks like they're slowly starting to worry about what may be building over towards that C site, because Core has made it here. Kryzer may have given away the game a little, but he's going to have to try and hedge his bets by getting over towards the B site. And here we go. There's the move they're waiting on. A, B, and C all up in the air, but the tickets are getting a little even.
I actually would not be surprised if Gamers Connection win this with like 5 tickets. At the rate it's going, I mean, Exertus, yeah, they finally sent someone around and actually works out their favor, went out on a couple of 1v1s towards the B flag here, so it looks like they might be able to finally close this one out. But Gamers Connection gave a run for their money. They turned, what, an 80-ticket lead to only about 50 at this point, and that's definitely more viable for them to come back from in the second half here, where they're on the stronger side. But Core, again, 14-8. You see Wyraz 15-6. You see even Zam at 12-9, and 14-11 for Malcolm. They're doing a fantastic job in fragging here, but it seems like they just hit a brick wall at the end and lost the lead that they had.
1 ticket remaining. Any kills, any respawns really could cost these guys.
Wow.
And look at those tickets dropping though. 45, 44, it's getting lower and lower. They're building on this. Fraud is doing damage. That's a double kill for him. Hexus finds 1, 40-1. These tickets are getting lower and lower. Malcolm down. They're going to have to invest a lot of tickets to respawn here. And from the back, Core does find a couple, but all in all, Gamers Connection top chat really making this hurt.
I was already writing down the 5 for 50-something in that one on my paper here, but wow. They've turned down to 30, and if they can hold this, I mean, obviously they can't respawn anyone else, and they only have 2 people alive. But again, they called it back almost 30 more tickets here, and Jika, last man standing, trying to hold on to anything he possibly can. And I see Exertus throw themselves at the flags. And they will finally close this one out, but 26 tickets? That's not really a lead.
No, it is not. After the start they had to let it slip that low, that is a real big mistake there. And you can see them talking that through. They're like, guys, what happened at the end? That went wrong. What started to build up? What did we drop down? They need to make sure that doesn't happen again. Gamers Connection built late because they started to understand. That's the team talk I wish I could hear, because I'd love to hear what they're saying to each other in regards of how to adapt, how to be better, how to improve, because individually I think Exertus played very nicely. As a team, didn't really gel that well in the second half.
Well,
towards the later half, sorry.
Yeah, that's the shame, is that the fact that they played so well for the majority of that one, but one slip, one miskill, one misposition,
yeah.
and Gamers Connection can just take the hold. They can take the reins of the game and take away that lead that you built up. So
let's be serious. Gamers Connection finished 3rd this season. They should be winning this.
They should, yeah. I mean, I'm not denying that, but Exertus have definitely proven that, you know what, they're not a bad team either.
No, I don't think we ever doubted them as a bad team. They barely made it beyond the round of 16, consistently held back by Dignitas throughout the cups, proving themselves towards the group stages. But still, this is a astounding performance from them so far. And if they can keep that up going in towards this half, I'll be very impressed.
Just his face when he realizes, oh, I'm on camera. Then he turns to the side to look where the camera is. I don't know, sorry, that's hilarious for me. But yeah, I mean, to get back to the game here, 26 tickets is the lead that Exertus has. And remember, winner of this one will go on to play against the winner of Fnatic versus Vox, which will be happening, I believe, right after this. And then the losers will obviously go into loser bracket to play against the loser of that one. And of course, we still have Group A to come up here very shortly. But look at Gamers Connection. They look pumped up. They look excited. They look like, you know what? We got this.
Well, they need to. They have a challenge now. This will be the deciding half between these two. 3 seconds left on the countdown. Final prediction.
Final prediction? Gamers Connection. I'm changing.
I'm going Exertus. I think we're ready to get into game, so hopefully we can jump in on this one. As Exertus will be on the Chinese side. And the US side will be Gamers Connection. So let's get into the game as they are live here into the last half of the final game.
They sent 4 men towards A. They sent 4 men backwards instead of pushing to B, pushing to C early on. And that's a very ballsy move. It hasn't really netted them anything just yet. I mean, I guess they're trying to stop the push coming out of Gamers Connection. But I don't know why they did that. I mean, I can kind of understand expecting maybe a push from B towards A right away, you know, to get really aggressive, but it didn't happen.
No, and let's see how this one keeps going through. We still have Rella in a perfect spot. We're going to get found. And basically, they were playing for the slightly late but safety play. So you start with the full team push up towards A, one man holds the back rotate, and then they just work down A, B hold. Start standard, and as simple as that. We are seeing Kryzer, CC301? He's 23 engineer. Interesting choice there, Kryzer.
Yeah, he switched up his kit. He actually switched up his kit. He picked up someone else.
Okay, I was like, what? That was a little confusing. But anyway, yeah, they were just playing for the slightly later game hold. And it looks like Exertus are trying to calm down their style a little, play a little more standard, and that'll probably pay out for them.
You're going to see Exertus still sticking into the inside of the buildings, into these corridors. Right now, Gamers Connection, after having the early 2-1, struggling to get anything back. They put a lot of presence towards the catwalk. They have decent presence towards Dogwalk as well here, but Core, I mean, he's not spotted. He's in a perfect position. He's even spotting people at a catwalk here. If they push into this corridor, he will pick up 1, maybe even 2 kills. And you'll see that one a little bit too easy for him. Just runs back. Actually goes defensive on that one. I thought he was going to be aggressive in that. But he sees that there's a hit on the A at the same time here. Gia has made his way around, and this will actually be a tri-cap coming in here in just a few seconds.
Yeah, the sneak through play up the west side road. Exertus should have been watching it. They were playing a very similar to Epsilon style hold there. Maybe a little more focused on the inner than the outside buildings, and they should have had at least one player watching that west side road, and then it would have been a near on perfect strategy. However, it wasn't the case, and now we're seeing the back cap, a cheeky back cap coming out from Kryzer that doesn't go too well. But he does at least draw players away from that B side, leaving Frod pushed up, who's been phenomenal in this spot, watching the push down so far, but will be overwhelmed, overmatched. But I think Gamers Connection have noticed the issue that they don't really have that dedicated player playing this west side road. So if they build up from it, they're in a good spot. But if they keep running this whole game inside the building, they're going to get outplayed, and Exertus will just pick up that side very soon.
Well, looks like they heard you. He's actually sending 2 men back towards that road here, going to push in towards the A flag. In the meantime, Fraud and Gia, well, they get flanked though in the meantime from Dogwalk, and they will lose 1 man on this one. Eventually, I believe the second man's going to fall in just a few seconds. But again, they've pulled people back towards the A flag. They haven't been able to capitalize off anything though. And to me, when you're in this situation as a team, you know, you're losing 2-1, and you have a man catwalk, I would just say, you know what, forget him. Just go straight to B. Don't even play catwalk right now, because you need to get a 2-1 holdback. You need to get some momentum here. And we've already seen what Exertus can do once they get an early lead.
We certainly do. Currently tied at 111 tickets each at that point. B and C currently in the hands of Gamers Connection on that US side. And at the moment, Exertus struggling to get out of that comfort zone. They need to start building towards those next couple of sites. It looks like they're considering that C site now. There we go. Finally, Malcolm gets down here. And I want to see them play unorthodox. I want to see them pushing their style, the way they kind of come about these sites. And we are seeing that Malcolm holding on well. He's drawn a lot of players back, but they didn't move in towards B. This is a mistake. They're playing sloppy now.
I wonder what that is. Maybe nerves? Maybe it's just kind of the style that they're playing at the moment. But I definitely agree. I mean, you think about Siege of Shanghai, where they pulled them towards C, then they kind of hit A at the same time. And they're not doing anything similar to that right now. And yeah, they had a 2-1 in the beginning. They finally lost. They might get tri-capped here in just a few seconds as Gamers Connection has pushed in towards the A flag. And we get a couple of rotates coming in to help out here to maintain this one. But Exertus, I wonder what's going through their head. I wish we could listen in because they're struggling right now. I want to say it's the calling that's just kind of not really working out.
Well, they haven't been in that position they like with the B-A hold, really. They're trying to challenge it. It's a 2v3 going down the site. Zaya moving in, looking like he wants to be the first through. He got a glimpse of core, but Kreiser's there, and they've near on overwhelmed it. Kreiser has to come back around, deal with the final man on the side, will pick him up. And in the meantime, Exertus did focus that C site. They thought leaving a player like Hexus around the back would stop that spawn, but it's the random spawns out the back, and there you go, there's a triple cap. It's Exertus were building, and look at the ticket differential. This is the problem now. Exertus is still keeping that game close, and they're getting the kills to match it up. And big play from Malcolm coming through. 2 kills to near and secure that B side by himself.
I want to call this a lot of sloppy play out of both teams as well in this one. But like I said, Malcolm really coming out huge right there. Some great pickups, allowing them to at least pick up a couple of kills at B and kind of hold them there for a little bit longer. But unfortunately for them, they lost out on C. It's going to be a 2-1 picked up here yet again here for Gamers Connection. Remember, 26 tickets. If GC drop below that marker, that means they have lost out here on the 3rd map. And that will be Exertus going through in the winner's bracket. But right now, again, Exertus allowed to play the inside game. And like I said before, this is where they excel. And they've been able to do it time and time again. As you see Malcolm just pick up another frag. And he's just not stopping.
Well, this could be a triple cap. Exertus being pushed on fronts. And they need to be more aggressive with picking up the sites, not just the kills.
I feel like they need to be proactive to kind of just... All right, well, we're pulling everyone towards a flag. Why not just send at least one person towards the flag they were just at?
Yeah, and now they need to get this one right. 3 players up. They have 2 available to respawn. Where are they going to reinforce? Now they're going to reinforce A, it looks like, and then try and possibly pincer in the players on towards B. But they need to now depend on kills, and it's not going their way. You can see that Rella's already broken through towards the A site. This could be a 2-1 again in favor to Gamers Connection.
And this is what I hate seeing. I hate seeing tri-caps come in because you can lose that and get 2-1 back very, very quickly. And right now, luckily, they've been able to maintain a 2-cap. But then again, C and A, not the best flag duo in history here. As C going to be capped over in just a few seconds to Gamers Connection. But Malcolm's still trying to play the building game. But it seems like, Gamers Connection, they kind of recognize this and they don't. Well, they're not playing to the other team's strength. They're not playing the buildings anymore. They're trying to play for a little bit more long range.
Yep. And Rella there does find Kreiser. So, mode 69-65, it's still very close, but we've still got to bear in mind that Gamers Connection do have that deficit of 26 tickets. So, Exertus are in the lead, but I don't feel they've been leading the game, if that makes sense. And they've nearly got squad wiped there.
They did. I mean, Zan, the last guy alive, and well, luckily for him, he picks up that kill, and they won't get squad wiped. But either way, it's going to be a 2-1 back here for Gamers Connection. Very back and forth game so far here. Zan picks up another. He's currently, sitting on 8-7. Not necessarily the best score line, but not bad here for him. And Hexus, though, haven't really touched on him. He's 11-3 currently.
Yeah, big play from him. Zamlo trying to keep up. Picking up the double on the site. And let's see what they're working with. So he defended B. They've got A. They now need to actually defend this because look at this. Gamers Connection is starting to utilize this sort of catwalk area, and it's been pressuring them because Exertus are used to teams just running at them, trying to play the 1v1 game. And when teams just go for the flag pickups, splitting players up towards A, they get a little bit overmatched, overwhelmed, and they don't really know where to focus themselves towards, and they get over-aggressive, and they're going to lose out on these sides if they're not careful. But this game is extraordinarily close still.
It is, and you have to keep in mind, though, 26 tickets, even though it looks like it's tied, it's still a little bit in favor here at Exertus, but at this rate, Gamers Connection can easily pull off a victory here. They have a 2-1. Even being a little bit aggressive towards the A flag here, and it seems like I really feel like there's no strategy involved right now. They're just throwing people at these flags. They're not really kind of thinking, a step ahead of their opponent right now, or at least they're not able to so far. You can see Kreiser trying to work on the catwalk, trying to maintain it a little bit longer here, and well, looks like he will pick up at least 1 kill, and it's bought them time. It's bought them a little bit of control, and it's forcing Gamers Connection to send resources to deal with this. And lucky for them, there's actually wide open to B. Like, why is no one watching this spot to cross straight into it from the building?
So they're playing for the retakes rather than the challenges, it seems, and maybe a workout. They had to adapt something, and it looks, big double kill there for Core. Cleans up Frod and Zaya off the respawn. And this is going to cost a lot of tickets towards Games Connection. They're near on squad wipes. Chica is the only one standing. They're even going for the slow build-up, and look at that random respawn. Zam might be able to clinch this game for Exertus, and that is the big upset here. Let's see if this final push for Games Connection will actually work out.
They don't have very many tickets left to work with. 5 currently. They're going to be able to get C here, but they have no time to pick up another flag. Jika has to pick up this kill, and he has to cap it over right away, and he's just going to be too slow. And I think he even knows it's over right now. Exertus are going to come out and actually be the victors here in our first match of the day, beating out Gamers Connection in a 3-mapper. A fantastic job by them, and now they're going on to the winner's bracket.
That is what I wanted to see. Exertus doing well, doing the job. And I said the danger came in on this final map. The final map between these two was the big one, and that's exactly what we saw. So, sadly for Gamers Connection, unable to really pull themselves through, not really having the best performances, and Exertus just picking up the win, as we expected in essence after that Fnatic performance.
I kind of went with Gamers Connection on that one at the end, so I kind of jumped ship for no reason.
You did.
We never let me win that one down, but again, Exertus, I mean, they had to be so happy about that. Again, I mean, coming through in the groups, they did a great job coming through in a very tough one, a very difficult
And none of you guys at home really thought it would happen.
12% of them did.
Scumbags. Not you 12%, the 12% is good. The others not so much.
Well, again, that kind of shows you the state of the game right now. Anyone can beat anyone at this point, so you cannot really assume a team's going to win. And that might come even more true when we see Fnatic up against Vox next.
Yeah. Not too sure if it's the same caliber, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's hard to predict. As I said, upsets happen. Exertus, the danger was always on that final map for me. I'm not sure why they went for Storm as their first choice. I don't agree with that one. I think that was a bit of a mistake
for Exertus?
Yeah. I didn't like that for them. They did well in the first half, but it's too hard to predict. It's too hard to play out standardized. The second couple of maps, however, were the real game changers for me. Shanghai, they had a game plan and they played it well. They had set positions. They were slightly unorthodox, let's be honest here. You know, Malcolm's placing was very, very unique and actually well executed. They clearly thought it through. And then that final map, we saw how good they were in their little side room, tucked away, you know, in the corner. Yet no one expected it. The double stack of the med packs, they get one up on the filing cabinet, one down low, so they can constantly be healing themselves on each peak. And it's just a beautiful playstyle. It's something they'd clearly worked on, and it paid off here for them. I can't help but think that maybe a stronger opponent might read into that, might prepare a little better. But Gamers Connection struggling, it seems.
Well, it's always nice to see, you know, hard work really, you know, or see the results, sorry, from hard work, if I can even speak anymore, for Exertus. I mean, obviously put a lot of time in over the past couple of weeks, able to come up with a big victory when they were probably the underdogs. Well, at least the people at home definitely thought they were underdogs in this one. And now, I mean, they have to look towards Fnatic or Vox. Obviously going to have the time to watch that match when it does happen. It's going to be another tough one for them. No easy matches for any team right now, but again, a big high for them. And I really wonder what they're going to do in other maps if they're up against that. There's obviously, you know, a handful of maps we haven't seen just yet here, but they look strong. Honestly, they look strong on every map. I mean, let's look at the scores. 84 ticket lead on Storm in the first half, 65 on Siege Shanghai. Dawnbreaker was a little bit weaker for them, but I feel like they kind of didn't really get in the stride that they normally did, or at least against Fnatic.
Yeah. Very
strong maps, and those are usually like the highest priority picks.
Yeah, certainly a lot of things all coming up for Exertus. I think they put in the hard work, but I want to hear from them myself.
Yeah, well, let's go over to Red Eye, who has an interview with them right now.
Very much, yes, with Malcolm on the stage. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
You said to me when we came on stage, for many of you, this is your first big event, so tell me how nervous you guys were.
We were nervous, yeah, but we also well prepared. Keep focus in game. As I said, for most of us, it's the first LAN. For 3 of us, only 2 of us been on LAN before. So that's a huge experience, good experience. And we did it. We won the first match as we wanted.
A massively tough game against GC. They were 3rd overall in the listings. They've played very well. You guys, you didn't finish quite so high in the regular season, but you see everything seems to be coming together for you guys. It's all working.
We practice a lot, everything, every map. We came prepared. Honestly, I think we should have won the first map, but it was like, yeah, you saw that. It was very close. But yeah, eventually we did it, so we're all happy now. We're all happy.
And the last map, talk to me, 26 tickets is not a big lead. You go into the second half, you're thinking, whoa, this is going to be tough. They kept it close. You kept it close all the way through, though. But at what point did you think, actually, no, we can win this now?
Yes. We wanted to win by a lot more tickets, but we did it how we did it, and we are happy now with that.
I mean, GC, very good team, but you're now going to go on, potentially going to face Fnatic next. Yes. That's going to be even harder, so how do you prepare?
We're looking for it to play against Fnatic, and we're going to do it.
Best of luck and congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
That's Malcolm from Exertus. He is the proud winner with his team, of course. They've won their first match of the day against GC. Against the odds, I might point out that you guys at home said 88% for them to win, and you were wrong. Time for a quick break now, but when we come back, the champions of last season are in action against the Australian hope, Vox Eminor.